Come on. May as well go right to the crafting screen. As I can start broadcasting instantaneously. Play it. Projector. Screen to monitor. Good. Morning, Ghost Train. How's it going? Ooh. Okay. Boom and boom. That should be. Oh, man. Trying to get all the sanding done ahead of time. I forgot a piece. Mea culpa. Actually, why am I doing it this way? That takes a fraction of the time. How's it going, Wayne? The man, the myth, the stuck at home, the doing stuff to do stuff. Just rigged a Dremel right here, though. That's been kind of nice. I'd like it perched a little bit higher, though. I think all I need to do is get myself a little 1-inch PVC. Oh, nice. Excellent. I kind of wish I had an indoor scene where I could do candelabras and stuff like that, but sadly we are all outdoor. I suppose I could set something up in the garage, but yeah, this sucker is really, really, really doing its thing. Sadly, last night when I went to bed, I didn't put the fan on it, so it got some rudimentary drying done, but it didn't get as far along as I'd hoped it would. And that's not a big deal, but one always hopes for the more dry over the less dry. And like I said, very soon we'll do a tutorial on that method of pumpkin mache, because I really do think it's superior. I almost got a nail through the hand there. Thank the blessed everyone that didn't happen. Oh boy, am I glad I got that Dremel going. Oh, fantastic. Yeah, I'll happily post it up on Facebook and YouTube. Happily, happily. Whipping up the first pinky finger here, which should be good to go. I do like using staffs for Halloween. I just haven't had the opportunity to do so for a while. Where's my chunk? So that's glued. This is going to go the most smoothly of all the ones I have done in the past. Greatly looking forward to that. Okay. Nails. Oh, sigh. Kind of enjoying teaching the classes via Zoom. It's been pretty slick. Yeah. So easy. So easy when it actually works. If I can just... It'll probably work. I gotta get me some zip kicker though. Gels are nice, but zip kicker is fast. I gotta find out why this is always putting it up on supports. It should just sit flat on the bed. Not that it really matters. Wow, I have no idea how that's going to sit. Okay. That also impinges the movement of the. Actually, that's not a problem. I'll get the work done on that Sentinel that I wanted to get done last night. So I really like that guy to be just this side of complete. Come on. This is not the one because that's the screw up one, but I did my god awful editing too. That's good. So that side, rough. Oh, I also made myself a little placard. Thought I'd have some fun with that. Paint it up. God damn, I love sanding sponges. You are wonderful. Yeah, these days. The other half of 3D printing they don't tell you about. You're sanding. You're sanding a lot. I don't think it's too bad though. Sealing sponges make the job infinitely easier. And I do have some ABS downstairs, which you can use acetone smoothing for. I've never printed with ABS before. I was a little worried that it might be a bit noxious, but yeah. Like the experience of using the everything. That looks pretty good. And I brought the vacuum cleaner up here last night too, because the craft room is starting to see a little bit of mess generation, as is right and proper for a craft room. But still have to be able to pick it up. Yes. Bigger two-tier brushes. Yay. I don't know. I know some 3D printers, mine has Wi-Fi capability, which I have not messed around with because I haven't really needed to. But I have no idea if phones can interlink with them. Lower one. It goes back very far. Mm-hmm. Guess we're going to do it more facing up. Welcome back, Wayne. Just carrying on with this quick assembly. Interesting. So, this is probably the one I chunked through. Yeah. There's another part. Cool. Should be use. Whew. Oh no, Sharon. Just assembling another finger here before I get on to another project. Back to the pumpkin and back to the sentinel. Nothing missed at all. I truthfully will not be surprised if you can do it. Not at all. I mean, all the printer cares about is a code file saying how much it's got to put out, when, and all of its movements. That's all the printer gives a rat's rear end about. Actually making the files, that's a different beast. That I don't know if you can do from a phone. But storing them on a phone and sending them to a printer? Yeah. Absolutely. Give me a moment or two to cure. That sanded reasonably well. I want to stick this thing right over there. I suppose we would give it a layer of varnish first. Speaking of layer of varnish, here you. Oh my God, Sharon, thank you so much. You're amazing. I certainly will be crafting like a madman. Now that I have all the generous contribution to supplies, thank you. I really can't wait to start doing the tutorial for the Pumpkin Sentinel. That's going to be so much fun. It'll be awesome. That is called a super chat. And people have the option if they want to. Oh dear. If they want to donate to the crafting cause, they can do it through super chats. I've also got a link down there to a little PayPal tip jar if anybody ever felt like using it. Totally, completely not required, but appreciated. Shockingly appreciated. Well, I'll try not to let you down, Sharon. Ooh. Craft like mad. For so long as the quarantine is in effect, I can't do anything else, and I have all the lovely time. I certainly have all those things. Surprise, Wayne! YouTube does it. Twitch has a similar facility. I think Facebook's got one too. Hey, Yoy. Again, I'll try not to. Keep on at it. Yeah, I mean, everybody who does that, I am always very, very grateful, very surprised, and very, very happy. Thank you so much, Sharon. Like I said, we'll make it worth your while, and I refund all the cash right back into projects and supplies. So it all stays in the craft room. This is the Mark II version of the crown. The Mark I had a band that was, in my opinion, just too thin. I wanted something that was a lot more robust, and so I printed this one up, and this one's got a much thicker crown section. Because with that other one, there is a chance that, walking under a low-hanging tent something, it would snag. If it's snagged, it might break. This one, if it snags and topples off, well, it might get scratched and dinged, but it certainly will not break. And I'm probably going to do a version 3 out of a transparent PLA plastic. And what I would like to do with that one is ring the inner crown with a battery-powered LED light, and do not paint on the horns at all, possibly not on the skulls, and possibly not on the Triskells. And then when that LED light is activated, all of those sections should illuminate with a beautiful internal spooky green light. But I wanted a few prototypes made functional and ready to go first, so I got some experience with them. Yeah. Because I do love my printing and my prints, but I also don't want to make stuff that's goobered up. So we'll go through a few prototypes. And again, the great thing with 3D printing is, hey, I made it. All right, click, print. Hey, I want another one. Click, print. All it takes is time. I'm kind of doing the same thing with the fingers as well. Every finger I'm making right now is sort of a quasi-prototype. I want to get the printing of them completely down pat, and then once I do, I will make alterations to the design. So the fingers are very much more me. And then I know they'll assemble perfectly, they'll fit right the first time, and things will be splendiferous. As opposed to, oh, look, I used the super good filament and all this stuff, and it doesn't quite fit right, and it doesn't quite work right, and everything's borked. Ah. Much rather do the old, yep, I used the okay filament and ironed all the bugs out, and now it's functional. Time to make the big design. This crown's also kind of being used to test this urethaning method as well. Because a guy I came across mentioned that he threw a few coats of urethane on that heavily smoothed his prints, and then when he painted them, there were no lines visible. So we are testing that because it's easy, fun, simple to do, and coating it with urethane will make it a hell of a lot easier to paint in general. After this dries, we'll see how 2 coats is done for it. I'm really hoping it doesn't need a third. Because also on Halloween night, you're only going to see so much of it. Yeah, I hear you there. Prototyping and testing. That wonderful, wonderful, often underappreciated process and skill. Which, as far as I'm concerned, is about the only way to fly. As I've mentioned before, I get a lot of stories out there where people message me in. They ask, what's this thing that you've never done or heard of it before? Why don't you take a small piece, try it with that, see if you like it. Every time. And that's not to dissuade people from asking questions, though. But I'm often surprised at the number of folks who don't just do little tests. I've done that many times. Usually it's the factor of, God, if I'd just done that the first time, it would have been so much easier. Why did I screw around with all this crap? I think my biggest one for that was the original smoke bombs. I was trying to find a way to make a good casing that did what I want for it. I made them out of aluminum foil. I bought wiffle balls, and I bought clay to put on the inside edge of the wiffle balls so it wouldn't melt the plastic. Everything. Just ridiculous, all the steps I went through. And finally, I came across a cheap cardboard half sphere from a firework company. Did that, worked fine every time, first time. If I'd just done this the first time, I wouldn't have spent, 50 some odd bucks on garbage materials and time screwing around with nonsense that didn't work worth a fart. Oh well. It's the joys of development. As is the story we always tell with Edison and the light bulb. What did you learn? I learned 20,000 ways to not make a light bulb. Let's let that dry. Droplets are always problematic with that. Oh well. Hey, sorry. Hello, Carolyn. Hey, Caroline Hunter. And hello, Super Cow Poop Man. That's an interesting one. Oh, thank you very much, Wayne. Appreciate it. I missed the Twitch chat there. It snuck up on me. Yeah, there have been a lot of things, and even Teflon was made by accident. Yeah, I've done that many times too. I mean, now that I've made pumpkins like this, I look back on the earlier ones, like with the skin, like that works, but this is so much easier and better. All right. Oop, forgot to check. And again, thank you very much for that, Wayne. I'm always floored when people donate a bit. Ah. I guess I haven't really messed with Twitch too much, Carolina and Carolyn. It's going all right. Yeah, I haven't messed with Twitch enough to know the rating, the settings, and all that fun stuff. It's mostly I just wanted to be here enough that I had the option to use it. Fantastic. That's that bit. The rest should be good. Yep, it went right through. No problem. Sweet. 3 Twitch people. Fantastic. Yay. I usually don't have as many people for Twitch at all. All right, that's in good shape. So, should be able to. Why is that? That should not be a tight fit at all. Woohoo. I've seen raids before, yeah. I've just, again, never had to. I shouldn't say never had to have it on my own channel. I've never seen it on my own channel. There we go. Yep. I got my Dremel all set and going because I was kind of sick and tired of not having a means of highly rapidly getting some of these parts filed down to size. Good. Hey, Bohemian, how's it going? Long time no see. This is awesome. Chunk this. This finger is going together so much easier than the last ones. Doing pretty well. Did a Zoom class today with students, which was nice. It's almost, but not quite like teaching, which I love to do. So, Hey, Danielle, how's it going? That was fun, and now I'm up in the craft room, working away. It's daylight out, which is also kind of nice. Though I heard we're getting a friggin' snowstorm this weekend. I was floored. Absolutely floored. It's crazy. Well, I just got things installed. Like I got the Dremel right there now. I need like a 1 inch piece of PVC so I can take it up another couple inches. Because when you got these flex shafts, you want to make sure that they stay pretty straight and they don't, you're not trying to drill something or Dremel something like that. Ah, yes. I was talking with a friend last night about that same subject. And I heard we're in phase 2 of 4. Yep, such is the way of things. I think that is. I think this is the actual. Yes. Yeah, that's the actual one. That is just an area I hollowed out because I sanded it too much. Almost there. Ah. Pain in the butt of working with super glue. Wonder what I'll use when I actually assemble this for realsies. See, this one I shouldn't have done that with. This one's got the wobble. Grr. Fantastic. Awesome, Carolyn. Yeah, I highly recommend the witch orbs. They take a little bit more time, but they're an absolutely beautiful project. The witch bottle takes a lot less time and is also really cool. I almost recommend people start with the bottle, but do as you please. 100%. They look gorgeous. Okay. This is the pain in the butt one to line up. Well, if you're ever having trouble with it, look back at the history. Right now, we don't have to worry about the horrors that went on in the past with things like polio, the 1914 pandemic. We are very fortunate in the response that we've got this time around. Hey, Melissa, how's it going? Excellent, excellent, excellent. Yeah, in the past, you'd have series where there would legitimately be bodies piled up around hospitals. We don't have that right now. We just have, we've got deaths, but still, it's not a oh my freaking god situation. That'll work, Carolyn. That'll work too. Doing all right, Melissa. Doing all right. Getting these fingers going, trying to find out their limitations. Got my first pinky-sized one going on here. At some point soon, we're going to have to make the plate for the back of my hand and the wrist strap so that we can get a full bit going. I have one more finger printing downstairs, and then I'll have to print a thumb, and then I'll have a full hand. So I gotta watch the measurements on these things. Make them too big, they also wobble a bit. I love these things, Carolyn. Absolutely love them. Looking forward to trying to calibrate them a little bit better. And in the end, there'll be burlap attached kind of here. So the main exposed points will be the ends of these, the mid bone and the final claw. The file for these is free. It's on Thingiverse. Huh, pumpkin shrunk. Wow, that honestly surprises me. Usually they don't shrink at all when you're doing the paper clay. You get some cracks, but it's not usually that bad. You can do a little bit less water. I'm trying to think what else can be done to assist that. Yeah, when you start with drier clay, there's less to evaporate, and so the size differential isn't as bad. But I really haven't had the same kinds of issues. I don't know. Come here. 50. Yeah, free is awesome. The guy who made them is German, so his directions are a little bit, well, German, but they're very easy to sort out. I think I may have to disassemble that joint, because that is just sticking right there. It sticks something fierce. And it's in that section. I've got a microfile downstairs. I could also screw with that. Or. We'll be creative. Don't count on it too much, Melissa, because usually, again, they do not shrink. I am very surprised that your pumpkin was experiencing any kind of shrinking like that. It's not something I normally see. I need a candle. Do I need a candle? Or can I just carve away some sections? Still tight. So right there. And then I think if I slice it away, it's not going to matter because it's experiencing friction with the intersection. Arrgh. I need to just not let it bother me for a while. Otherwise, I'm going to pull pins out and do stuff, and my microfiles are downstairs, and I want to get to that guy. I do want to rotate this chair a bit. There we go. All right. Hopefully, last bit. See, this one's got the same issue. My microfiles are all downstairs. Damn it. Another claw. Mm-hmm. These are a knockoff design by a fellow who put his stuff on Thingiverse. So yes, these are the same style and same mechanics. No problem, Sam. For all intents and purposes, they are the same, but they are ripoffs. The guy who made the originals is Gary Fay, and he sells them over on his site, Gary Fay Creations. Oh God, yes, they are amazing. Absolutely amazing. Oh, all right, I am going to go down and grab my microfiles because this is driving me bananas. And that means I'll need them up here eventually anyway. So, one moment. Hey, Stoney, how's it going? We are making Halloween stuff. I just need to pop downstairs to grab a tool real quick because I want my fingers to be working. That one goes there. This one goes there. Arr. It absolutely is. 100%. Give me a moment, and I will go grab my microfiles so I can get that next one going without any issue. BRB, literally. Hi, Natch. What time is it? All right. Live streams are pretty slick. Whew. So on a live stream, you can ask questions, interact. It's pretty fun as far as they go. There we go. Really want this one to work perfectly. I want it to work perfectly the first time. Really? Huh. Yep, that's an Atmos Effects overlay. I think I've got a credit for them down in my information there. I wanted to make sure I gave them a call before I used it. Or I sent them an email and got permission to use their stuff. Atmos Effects does really nice Halloween stuff. Okay, that's much better. Still a bit of a wedge, though. Hey, Goliath, how's it going? Let's nip this firmly in the bud. How about that? Oh, well, yeah. Yeah, neither did I. I thought you could pretty much just do what you wanted. I'm really surprised they threw any kind of cap on it. I mean, I guess they want to be restricted with their bandwidth, but why? Are they afraid Google's going to run out of bandwidth? I mean, come on. Come on! There's no courage needed. It's just all of us screwing around on a live stream, hopefully crafting. If not, then at least having a good time. Type in saying hi. Melissa, back to your thing. You can really easily fill in cracks on paper clay with just a little bit of extra. I do that on mine from time to time when they do crack. How do we get so high? Work surfaces down here. Well, he's off there because earlier I took the Dremel and put a zip cut head on it and carved out his mouth. And also right now his back is nowhere near as dry as I wanted it to be because last night I was kind of hit by the tire so bad I didn't throw a fan on him. Bad me. The singing pumpkins from Atmos FX are pretty good. It's not my cup of tea personally, but the effect is excellent. Almost there. One pin to go. That would have helped if that actually locked. I have not heard of the quarantine mohawk. I'm guessing this means mohawk hairstyle. There we go. Hmm. I still interact with students, so can't do it. This one's a little bit side to side bendy for my liking. Should be alright, but worrisome. Oh wow. Yeah, I hear you, Chris. Definitely. Some people definitely go way overboard on the home haunt stuff. Articulated fingers, Ross. Articulated fingers. Or articulated finger extensions. The guy who does it has a name that starts with D, like Dozman or Doze something. Domar. Prominent D sound. It must have been a wind making the door slam downstairs. Yeah, I think the worst decoration I ever saw with somebody going full stupid was I mean, it was a neighborhood type situation. They had a corpse upside down on an upside down cross hanging from a tree, and they dangled fake hypodermic needles all around it. And it was like, come on. Yep, I think it's Dome 7801. That may be very much the one. And the fingers will look incredibly like these. For the most part, they work pretty well. But that was the most, are you freaking kidding me, Halloween haunt that I ever saw. And the person was like, oh, why are they getting all angry at me for doing this? Are you stupid? Look at it. Dumbass. Alright. Second to last pin. Oh dear, sorry to hear, Stunny. Take care, Ghost Train. Good luck on the cleaning. Yeah. Almost done, almost done. And then this pinky will tell me a lot of information about what I need to do to get the thumb going. Yep. Of course, Gary has a lot more styles on his fingers than the one on Thingiverse does. The one on Thingiverse is, if you know your 3D modeling software, you can do what you want with it. The Thingiverse pins for this, however, are terrible, and I would not make them. Just get yourself a pair of chonkers and some nails that fit the hole sizes. Save yourself a lot of trouble. It's not too hasty. Let's give that just a minute to cure. And then we'll screw around with it a bit. Oh, that's right. One last. Tiny one. Gotta have some leftovers. Here we go. Come on. Yeah, there's a block in it. No wonder. Alright, almost time to get back to pumpkin it. I may have printed the wrong piece there. Well, the articulation's expert. I think I printed the wrong pinky piece. No biggie. Because that will still work perfectly as a main finger piece. Yep, that section there is off. The articulation on the individual finger is excellent. Good. Awesome. Easy fixes. Very easy fixes. Great. Okay. Add to the collection. Next. Okay. You. Sponge. These guys should probably stay over here. This is garbage now. The ultimate question or accomplishment for these is getting these fingers set so I have a fully articulated set for one hand. I'm trying to iron out all the bugs so I know what's where. I think I've got the main finger sizing printed. And it's right now trying to get the pinky, which is a smaller one, and the thumb, which is another set of modifications. I want to get this set so that I can print a set of fingers that are completely perfect the first time, because these figures, while excellent, are not necessarily what I want 100%. I want my stuff to be like this pinky section here is a straight point. I kind of want mine to curve a little bit more forward, more claw-like. So I've got to make those modifications in the 3D software, but it's useless to make those modifications unless I know that the finger works on the first print with no issues. And if it works, then we're great. But if the finger doesn't work, then why bother modifying? So that's the whole point of getting this going now, as we get these prints functionally working. Then we make our cool modifications, and then we print 2 hands, and then we doctor them up and look amazing for Halloween. All right, that's that project. This one needs a little part swapping, which is fine. These bits are done. Yeah, there's the issue, right? Oh no, it's the same size, isn't it? Yeah, not worried. That's still a very well articulated finger. Okay. So that 3D print stuff done for now. Need to find one of my sets of goggles to get those going. And we're back to the pumpkin and friends. Just need that to collect some of the errant water. See if we can go the rest of the way around this section. Then we'll finish up with that section after it's had time to dry. And that head will just need a stem before it can be made into a sentinel. Oh, no problem. Yeah, they're not bad, but again, it's got to be costume perfect. Can't be adjusting your fingers every 2 seconds on Halloween night. Or be doing the, I'm spooky. Wait a minute. Okay, I'm spook. Hold on. The face. It's right there. Oh, that's right. We gotta re-whip the sauce real quick. I pulled this out from my Dremel here. Yeah, we've got a pretty good angle. There we go. I am happy with the concerned citizen. Yeah, it came out pretty well, I think. But it is heavy. It is stupid heavy for a mache pumpkin. Got my favorite tool here. So drying pumpkins is real easy for Wayne. I'm actually surprised. Last time I threw this clay into this bag, it was a very dry clay. Now it's a very moist clay. Funky. Can't wait to work this right from the start on the next pumpkin. Yep, the old garbage bag pumpkins. Still effective, just not the most expedient anymore. Yeah, beach ball's a lot easier. Much, much, much easier. The balloons are alright, but still unideal. Oh, I see. I cut off the bottom there too. Alright, so let's not go down too far. So I'm going to do bottom up. Almost looking for like an inflatable pumpkin. Say, it didn't just work, it turned out amazingly. Pinatas do great too, yeah. I mean, nothing wrong with the balloon so long as the balloon is pretty sturdy. It's just when they pop, when you still really, really need a form, that's problematic. Yeah. I think the one thing that the garbage bags are still good for is actually there's two is making weird shapes for one, and two, almost everybody's got one around. They're very highly accessible. Dropped some clay a moment ago. Don't see it. Not going to worry about it. Dropped a pumpkin a moment ago. Still see it. Am going to worry about it. And that's one of the problems with the weight. I've got some sand somewhere that I'd love to put in the bottom of one of these, but ah, yes, the spider pumpkin. We're starting to get him ridged as well. Oh yeah. Newspaper and wire armature is always highly effective. All right. Big old smack here. Well, one thing's true, this pumpkin's going to be difficult to break. Well, I'm sure he'll have a tumble on some Halloween night, or put away or put out festival, but he's going to be really sturdy for the amount of material. Okay. It's all good, Stoney. That you're here and commenting at all is good enough. More than pleasant. That's right, we used the other side last time. Ah, yeah, that rock is awesome. There's also some pictures on Facebook of a guy who did a full octopus candelabra. And that thing is a monster armature. You don't have to do Facebook at all. If you look at the page, the pictures will be there. can surf it like a regular web page. Let's see. How many bricks of paper pulp have I gotten through? Um, I think about this point in my history, I've gone through one brick of paper pulp because I brought it into school and we used it for projects there. So not kind there. I probably used up one. It's one of the reasons I love that. What is it? R11, R13. It's sitting behind me, but I'm very occupied at the moment. Whatever the hell R number it is, insulation will last you for bloody ever. Take care, Sharon. Thank you again for the super chat. Star Wars is awesome. The original 3 Star Wars are awesome. Always got a caveat to that. All right. Time for magic sauce. I got a lot of cracks on this too. This is going to turn into a whole bunch of bubbles. Yeah, very much. Derek, send it to probably send it to the Unhallowed page. That would be easiest. That way I got all my stuff in one spot. I'll let you know if there's any problems at all. Occasionally Facebook is a little bit. It'd be like, you have a notification. Something happened. I'm not going to tell you what happened or where it happened or what to do with it, but something happened. Take care, Stoney. Thanks for dropping in. Catch you on the next flyby. All right, smooth that. Smooth that. All right. And all we need to do is give this a mother loving good dry. Do this last little kind of a 1/4 section, and it will be set. And then we'll do the stem. And then we're probably going to have to carve out an access panel in the lower back side, like we did for the other one. All right. So let's set him like that for stability. Then let's get some more dry lock on the rest of the Sentinel. Not really sure what else he's doing after that. Sure, we'll find something. Oh yeah, little guy. May as well work on him a little bit now. While I've got the sauce right here under clay. Oh. Cats are going to be invading us pretty soon too. 4 o'clock with their food time. Hey Donna, how's it going? It's not messy, Chris. Just gotta get your wife hooked on it too. You can pull the old, well, you're doing it. Hoo-ha. um, Usually, if I have the option, Joey, I will always put it in the fridge. But like last night, I was exhausted. So the only thing I did with paper clay was I brought it up, I pulled it out of the bowl, threw it in a bag instead. So it's has a lot more potential for being airtight. And the paste I just left out. Though this paste I added maybe 6-8 tablespoons of salt too. So you can, if you're using this stuff rapidly, then you're usually okay to leave it out. If you plan on taking a break or having any kind of break in your schedule, then you're going to want to definitely keep it refrigerated. Because mostly we all know what happens to paste if you leave it too long. Yep, salt, regular table salt. Where is it? There we go. It's good old iodized, well, not iodized necessarily, because it doesn't matter if it's iodized or not, but regular old table salt. That will buy you a few days. Yeah, that could work too, Chris. Or Cowman. Look at what can be done. Nothing wrong with using it all up, too. I'm still thinking of getting a large upright mixer just for the purposes of making clay and paste. It's big. All right. Throw all the crap in. I'll be back in 10 minutes. It's not sticking. Look at fart. Here. Some sauce down. I don't know if a cement mixer work because they're more of a rotary size, but yeah, a pizza dough mixer or a bagel dough mixer might do very well. Any kind of heavy dough mixing device would do great. I actually threw one in my Amazon wish list. That would be the one I would definitely consider grabbing. But it is not a cheap unit though, and I've already bought two 3D printers so far, so I am in no huge rush to get myself into debt at the time of the year when I've only got like another month of paychecks coming before the great summer break in the schedule arrives. Yes, yes, it is. It thought it was. Yeah, Amazon is certainly on a slowdown due to the quarantine. I can hardly blame them though, and they're still doing an excellent job of getting things out there. So things simply cannot be as good as they were during non-quarantine times. To tell you the truth, I really don't get much of a smell from it, Chris. Not at all. I've had most of my stuff still show up earlier. They've done an excellent job getting me my gibbets. Yeah, but again, that's still part of the quarantine problem that their schedules are all over the place. It's not a huge amount they can necessarily do about it. Put too much on that section. um, I have no idea, Chris. I've never added fabric softener to mine. Some folks absolutely do throw like an anti-mold agent in theirs. I've never really had to worry about that so much. Mostly if the stuff gets so old that there's mold in it, I just throw it out. Don't care. It's cheap as chips. Flour's inexpensive, and when you buy glue by the gallon, I mean, never usually a problem. Yep. It's almost time for magic sauce. Yeah, when I do it at school, I usually throw in dollar store pine sol. Mostly because the kids tend to complain about the smell a lot, and when you do that, it looks like it's helping, presumably, in some way, a bitch less. I think with the smaller pumpkins, it's better to do larger flippy flaps. Oh, I love how easy this is. There's that bit. Blend it, blend it, blend it. Hip. If I need drop cloths, I usually just run down to Walmart or Lowe's. We got a pretty good selection of them around here. Alright, there's the top of that one done. Let's put him in the back. In fact, let's get both of these guys in the back for some drying. So he's going to be tippy as hell, which is going to be problematic. He's going to be tippy, but nowhere near as bad. Okay. Good. I have never done a Monster Mud project, oddly enough. I think mostly for the fact that when I think of uses for Monster Mud, it is coating like latex projects or making fabric into the old outdoor rigid structure. And I've never had such a surplus of fabric that I've wanted to use Monster Mud for it. That's one way to do it, Joy. Well, speaking of painting, it's time to grab the beastie from down on high. Which brushes was I using last time? Using this one. And that other one. Let's have this one handy. Okay. And let's do a quick. Wow, there's a lot of dusty crap. Kind of tempted to see. I bet that shop vac is a 3-prong plug. Yes. Yes, it is. We'll be fine. Hello, beastie. Yeah. Ah, excellent. Good time for a barbecue. Oh, Goliath. Bad. Gotta turn the fan away. Yeah. It's also glooping everywhere. That's why we wear a smock. Pardon. Yep, he is exceptionally rooty. Just the way I wanted him. Get this hole for the back of his head done. Dry lock is practically a friggin' paste. Actually, I'm going to be careful. I see a few spots of stuff on the roots as I'm flinging paint. While I want to paint, I don't want to fling paint onto the areas that are already painted. Take care, Angus. Thanks for hanging out with us. Appreciate it. Have a good one. We'll catch you later on. almost wish I was using a bigger brush, but this is fine. Redo this section because he is going no stem. Going stemless. Inside of the head is already spray painted white in all the areas that matter. That way, no matter what color I put inside the head, because I'm probably going to have it on a puck light, which can change colors, I can guarantee that I will get maximum reflectivity of whatever color the puck light is set to at the time. He's probably going to be set for green, but this way, again, I just won't have to worry about it. I actually did that one kind of off stream, just because I didn't want to give anybody bad habits of spray painting inside, because I did it all right here. There's only so much don't do this at home that I want to be responsible for. Take care, Chris. Thanks for hanging with us. Adios, and we'll see you next time, next stream. I wonder what I'm going to do for dinner tonight. Probably hamburgers. God, this stuff dries quick. Damn. Careful. Kind of surprised the little black cat is not up here now going, hey, food time. What are you doing? Good. All right, let's go for some delicates. Then once he is dry, we will be able to pumpkify him, which would be wonderful. I'll have to be very careful with the angles, just because it's going to be very tempting to leave a lot of white spots on there. He's not that heavy. Let's see if there's any spots here. Some extra attention. Well, the downside is that with the fact that I've got the roots on here, I won't be able to dry brush him. At least not in any major areas, because any spot that the dry brush nicks as it comes through will put that color up on the roots. I might be able to cover them with masking tape if I decide it's absolutely essential, but that's going to be a very tough cover. So he's probably going to be mostly orange and maybe a few yellow highlights. But since, again, the roots are there, dry brushing is going to be incredibly, incredibly problematic. So kind of we're trading one for the other. We'll have the root look, but we will not be able to dry brush. Which is sad, but not a huge issue. I think he's going to look splendiferous no matter what. And I'm kind of relying on the roots to carry the look a hell of a lot more than a casual dry brush. So kind of a technique trade-off, sadly. I'm not going to try to get those patches under his neck. Those are just going to stay regular paper mache clay colored. And we'll touch up some brown in there as we need to. He's got a couple of joining scars there. There's a little bit of undone stuff, but that's really not going to be a problem. Yeah, he's almost there. Just about. We got to actually do the little guys now. Let's throw him back up to dry. Whoa. Let's get his helpers. Now I'm going to be careful because these guys might have to have stems. So I'm going to leave the area on their tops bare for now. The other problem we've got with them is their insides. There's not a great access to them. I cover enough so it's not newspaper. Good stuff. Must be nice to have a concerned citizen. That's that's enough that I can't really tell I'm looking at newspaper. Really careful here on the. Hmm. Careful. Okay. It's time to shift brushes. Hmm. Leaf painting is always usually pretty nice and relaxing. Ah, I gotcha. Now I understand better. Problem I face is that however close I get with the white paint, I must get equally close with an orange for the pumpkin. Otherwise, it will be a glaring mismatch, but if I get too close, there's a chance that I will be dolloping orange all over the wood. So, playing a little catch-22 here with the painting scheme. It's occurred to me I've never actually read Catch-22. Probably ought to do that at some point. Okay, let's see what we got here for this region. At the very least, I probably got to download it as an audiobook sometime. Gotcha, Glyph. I think crafts would be even more essential to me if I was definitively disabled. Have to have something artistic to do. Hmm. Art. Always been a surprisingly big part of my life, no matter how much I've ever not thought about it. Gotcha. Now, large remodels will tend to slow other things down. No surprise there. Okay. It's like painting miniatures again. I haven't done that in quite a long time either. Is that dry on the back? Damn. Now, there's some areas that are not, so be careful. Let you sit for a while. Whew. It's one thing to screw up because you wobbled. It's another one to screw up because you went too damn fast and botched it. Painting with dry lock is so odd. It's almost like painting with a loose putty. Kind of funky. Mm-hmm. That's why we smock. Oof. I hear lawnmower sounds. That was me a few days ago. I was a little worried I didn't add any stable to the lawnmower gas tank over the winter because I had no idea you had to do that. It took about 8-10 pulls, but the mower finally fired and I was ecstatic. Hmm. Part of me is wondering if I can latch these guys on with some monstrous neodymium magnets. That'd be kind of nice. Nope. No, there never are. Never enough hours in the day. I imagine there would be if I was a more active individual. But sadly, I am not. Velcro probably will, but the surfaces are going to be irregular. Take care, Danielle. Have a good one. Because typically with Velcro, you're going to need a flat surface to attach your Velcro patch, and then another flat surface to attach it to whatever you want to Velcro to it. I suppose I could probably either A, sand down a Velcro. Actually, I've got several options now. I could sand down an area. I could try to just stick some Velcro fluff to it with a different means, or I could 3D print a joining point that I could epoxy to the Sentinel. So there are actually more options now than there were before, which is good. In fact, it's better than good, it's exceptional. The question of stems still weighs somewhat heavily on my mind. Have a good one, Danielle. They might. They very well might. I'll have to look into that option. The main fear I would have with that is misdone attempts, which would leave scars in the material. But yeah, it's definitely an option. I'll absolutely agree. Do a little bit of hooking. Alright, this guy's gonna be. That's what I was afraid of. This guy's gonna be the most problematic of them all. He's got the most fine details. So glad I threw this smock on. Yep, no, it's a good thought. Keep them coming. Keep the thoughts coming. Everything's adaptive. Real careful with this guy. Eye screws and fishing line may very well work quite well. Possibly even just tiny holes in fishing line, but I definitely agree fishing line is an excellent prospect. We'll have to see the whole assembled guide because probably what's going to happen is we're going to get things mostly done. Hello, cat. And then we'll decide kind of final placement for all the mini pumpkins. Who is that? That is Madge. Hi, Madge. How's my kitty cat? Oh, good girl. Good girl. Hello. Hi. Did you want to get painted? Meow. Good girl. All right. Let's get to the small brush again. Yeah, we'll use that. Oh, crap. Okay, no, that's fine. It's all right. It's all right. It's okay. I'm not even going to try to get in there. That's going to be a huge mess. So, Kat, is it dinner time? Let's see here. It's 4:51. It's actually an hour past dinner time. Hey, crafting. Things are going pretty well. We got another set of fingers assembled, barring a few minor difficulties. And getting the Pumpkin Sentinel well on his way to being done. She's practically at finished painting stage, which is excellent. Absolutely excellent. At the moment, just trying to trap a little, or get a little bit of this dry lock onto the mini pumpkins, so we can start looking at getting them into their final forms. Proving a little bit more problematic, but oh well. Honestly, it's just this guy. This particular mini pumpkin is turning out to be a bit of a pain in the arse. So you've got so much intermingling of witchwood and regular stuff. And again, painting with dry lock is like painting with loose putty, so it's weird. How about yourself? We'll see where it goes when the time comes, Goliath. At the moment, I'm not even going to worry about it. The solution is there. We will find it. We will like it. We will use it. And no matter what, on Halloween night, it's going to look great. Everybody's going to be all, oh my god, that's so cool. I don't get to use my favorite line. Where did you buy that? I didn't buy it. I made it. That's ambitious, Grafton. That's very ambitious. Still, I suppose now is definitely the time to do it. We've got the quarantine. I'm looking forward to Halloween. Hey, without your help, I wouldn't have that guy going in the same way. Wouldn't have found that cool new technique. It's awesome to have craft helpers. Even if it's anything as simple as, hey, what if you did it this way? Huh, let's try that. Oh my god! Gotcha. Yeah, one of these days, I really want to go out and do some rock carving. Today actually would have been beautiful for it, but I had a whole bunch of stuff from yesterday that I wanted to get done. because I said I was going to come back, but then the tire happened. I blame the Chinese food. It was entirely the fault of the General So wings. Yep, rock carving. Hey, Aaron, how's it going? Yep, I got my water table. I got my diamond drill burrs. Oh yeah, food coma is massively a thing. Also, surprisingly, getting late for my sleep schedule. Which I didn't anticipate. In a way, I'm kind of glad. Just having the being a little bit more regular on the clock is kind of nice. And that's all down to the Zoom lesson streaming. So if I didn't have that, I'd still be all over the damn place. Hmm. There, come back to you for a little bit. Ah. I might try a fresh pumpkin pretty soon just to slap that new method on from the very outset. See how it looks and how it comes together. Fireball. Come here. There you are. What? Yep, the method that got me the ridges lines on this pumpkin here. It's the new method for doing the pumpkins. This stuff is not as fast drying as I'm thinking it is. Gonna make a new tutorial on the pumpkins shortly on how to do that method. At some point, I probably ought to sit down and write down all the videos that I need to make. Because I also want to do that my first pumpkin style video too. I'd like to let all these guys dry for a while because I'm really worried that I'm going to grab it in a spot that's wet, not realize it, bring my finger onto the witchwood, and leave behind a wet, dry lock fingerprint stamp. And I really don't want to do that, so we're going to give it a little time. Okay, and it's kitty time. Meow. Right, Reg? I know, Dad needs to feed you. I'm really surprised Samhain is not crawling all over me right now. Bienvenido, Marcelo! How's it going, gang? I need a couple of things. I need to take this. Put it back over here. I need the water that was in here. This is... That's got to get dumped. Badly. Oh. Sadly, we're almost at the end of the stream here. Apologies for those folks who just joined. I've been very, very, very busy of late. All right, let's get these brushes. Argentina, awesome. It's got to be getting on fall down in Argentina. Depending on which section you're in. Yeah, things are working out nice right now, I gotta say. Everything is being incredibly functional. That's what we need some more whisking. So we got the spider pumpkin. We got the big guy there who is almost done. He just needs one more section. We got the 3D printed fingers downstairs. I got another one coming out. Gracias, Marcelo. Good stuff. Love to hunt. I hope you're not just showing up, unfortunately, because I'm just starting to finish. Hell's bells. No problem. Happy to do it all. I teach biology primarily. That's my certification. But realistically, I'm all over the board. Any flavor of science, I teach it. With the slight exception of like specialty stuff, botany, and whatnot. My favorite is cellular and genetic materials. Don't worry about it, Love to Hunt. What I can do is I can also start modulating my schedule here too, so that I am streaming at times when people can catch me. Because we've already been doing fingers, pumpkin, sentinel, the big pumpkin. We just put all the bunch of dry lock on the little guys. Just making sure these brushes won't turn into iron lumps the next time I want to use them. A little bit of a back accumulation, that's fine. Take care, Wayne. Hope that candelabra rocks. Man, that dry lock really accumulates in brushes. Damn. I probably should be using mineral spirits to break it up a bit more. Let's be safe. Give these guys a quick hit of that. I'm really hoping that we can, let's see here, what needs doing for next time? Next time I need to sort out the articulation for this pinky finger. Oh, nice. I am in Norwich, which not sure how that compares to Twin Tiers. I'm going to look at this piece here. I think this piece is the wrong one. But that's a very, very well articulated finger. I know a few folks from Binghamton. About 45 minutes north of there, myself. So, we got a finger to suss. We got this. These guys are practically ready for paint. Chances are I'll just send it to you if you want. The one for these fingers is already out there on Thingiverse. And if you want the witch orb, I'd be happy to send that to you. No problem. I'm trying to think of any other ones I designed. We got the old UnHallowed placard here. But that was incredibly, incredibly easy to do. And come to think of it, I almost would like to get a layer of white on this. Let's take a minute. I already capped the dry lock, didn't I? No, the dry lock's right here. And it's uncapped. Woo! Fantastic. Oh, let's grab ourselves a little bit more detail-oriented brush. Still has a bit of a flat. Do I have such a monster? There we go. Now, since I didn't cap the dry lock yet, I'm going to use its enormous powers of super stickiness to get this going. Even though I doubt this requires a masonry waterproofer, I think it will be an excellent primer. Now, if I end up making any really good 3D print files, they'll be available for you guys. Just ask. Not trying to make any money. I have a real job. I actually got to find my polyfill so I can really test the witch orb. Still waiting on my little black cat to come in here and start telling me, "Hey, hey, food." 'Cause he's a very loquacious little devil when he hasn't been fed. Yes, the craft area has seen some heavy upgrades. Um, I wouldn't say I am 100% settled in. There are still many boxes currently unpacked, lying in various places around. Um, but I got up the. No, there we go. I got all the other stuff brought up, put on racks. I've got this sucker here, which is super awesome, and things are a heck of a lot better organized. I took the giant ancient TV out of here because I thought I was going to use that as the display for chat monitoring, but it turned out to be kind of a dim display. And pumpkin monster. Let's see here. That one is a headless horseman. It's one of the first LED pictures I ever got myself. And it is it's an LED picture, so there are LED lights under it, and you can turn it on. The moon lights up. The horseman's eye, well, I should say not the horseman's eyes, but the pumpkin eyes light up. I have several of them downstairs. They're really, really slick. I've actually got a better headless horseman one in the living room, and I've got a really cool one with 3 witches by a cauldron. I wanted to have some more art in here, but the problem is that you get a lot of splatter from both paints, mache mixing, and whatnot. So, yes, it is. And this summer, more towards June, I've got to make a modification to the gates to allow circular traffic through. Which also means I'm going to need a big like enter and exit sign so people have to walk through the whole of the haunt. The only thing that'll be difficult for is probably like people with strollers. Suffice to say, I'm going to need some signage. But it'll all be good. Definitely looking forward to this year. Pumpkin Sentinel out. Have some super fun. If I'm able to do my usual volunteer haunt work, then I'll have the great big articulated fingers and the crown of the horseman, or crown of the horn king. So we are going to have a horrendously spooktacular time. Kind of hoping I can do another scare rampage through that haunt down in, God, what area was that? A little bit north of Binghamton. It's like a Girl Scout troop. I got invited down to help. That was a fun run through. Yeah, no kidding. I'm actually incredibly glad with that volunteer haunting bit I did that I got that gig, because otherwise I would have had just the rainy arsed Halloween, and that wouldn't have been anywhere near as fun. Yeah, paint nubbin on there. Hate what happens. It's sticking surprisingly well. Actually, last year it was kind of hilarious because we were in the middle of the haunt. Everything was full tempo. This one young girl came walking down through the haunt, just kind of, like, what's going on? What's going to happen? And she got down to me, and I'm there being all spooky, horrendous. I've got the voice box rolling and everything. She's like, "Hi, I'm your neighbor." That was just absolutely hilarious for me. Thanks. I printed this up last night. Using Chad Savage's Sinister Crow, or no, this is October Crow font, which I then had to go to a few websites to turn into a type of file called an SVG, which 3D printers somehow like. It's a vectored graphics file. Threw that onto a flat plate and printed it up. Yeah. Something vectored graphic. There's a fun website called Pick2SVG, which did a great job of converting it, because I tried converting it with a few graphics programs, and all my 3D print modeling programs hated it. They just went, graphic invalid, file, file screwed up, you suck, don't do it. Yep. I figure they were used in many other places, but Picked SVG did a good job of converting it. And with that being done, I was able to throw it onto Mesh Mixer Actually, no, I used Tinkercad for this one, come to think of it, because I was very excited with the prospects of that site, and I still am. It was incredibly easy to use, so this was a Tinkercad project. I got you there, crafting. Well, as long as they know how to scare, that's one of the big things. Both how to scare, when to turn it up, and when to turn it down. Because I've done lots of little trainings with my staff, if you will. And the fact of, it's a 4-year-old kid who's already wetting themselves. There's no need to do a full "Rah!" in their face. They've already got themselves 9/10 of the way. It's supposed to be a fun experience and not one of those, I used to be a normal person, but then I went to that haunt experiences. Alright, we're almost set here. 2 coats should be quite sufficient to bring out the spook. Now let's seal this thing up because it's starting to turn into a glob. Which orb uses about a fifth of the spool. I believe it's about 300 grams ish or so. Actually, come to think of it, that would make it more than a fifth. I just remember it being about a fifth of a spool. So you can get several out of them, but the Witch Orb is a large print. It takes easily 48 hours. But even still, that means you're paying about $4 or $5 an orb. So to me, that's a bargain. Especially with the amount of PLA I plan on buying. Oh, I'm wondering. No, I should probably give this time to dry securely before I do the rest. All right, so now let's do a wrap up here. Sorry, Melissa, I'm trying to just caught you there. I honestly don't think it will work, because what tends to happen with any kind of glow in the dark is that powder or any substance has got to be on the surface for it to be able to absorb light and then charge and then beam it back. If you have any kind of masking to it, it doesn't work anywhere near as much. I was trying to make like a hyper-reflective paint using glass beads. And what I did was I took glass microbeads and put them into various paints and then put the resulting substance onto areas, hoping I would get the hyper-reflectivity that you can get with a glass bead. But the problem is that the thin layer of paint on the glass bead just killed the effect. So, yeah, any powder you have that is masked by even a slight amount of drywall or flour will be, just very, very, very much masked. It'll be very problematic. Personally, I just assume you try painting the surface of whatever you need to with a glow-in-the-dark paint. Yeah, even a small covering will stop the absorbency effect, which is highly regrettable because it is such a cool idea and it would be such a great asset. I wonder if I should do a haunt training video. That would be kind of fun. Show off all the moves. I should get my buddy Don down here for that one. That's what I thought. I started feeling whitey stuff on my hands. Like, am I splashing this stuff on? Yes, you are. Alright, that should ensure that these brushes are very free. Hit of water, hit of mineral spirits. Good. Alright. And with that, I think we have done everything we can do currently. The crown is painted, the sentinel's painted, they're all painted and need to dry. That's painted, that needs to dry. This finger needs some replacement parts. I think we have hit the limit. Alright. I will start assembling some notes on that, because that could be a lot of fun to produce as well. Alright. Well, otherwise, gang, have a absolutely fantastic rest of the day. I do not know if I will be back on later or not. That's kind of up in the air, 50-50 shot. But we'll see, and take care. Thanks for hanging out with me. We'll catch you on the next run. Adios. Okay, dump. Oh, ours were pretty good. This can go downstairs. That can go downstairs. That's right. I'm going to turn it stream from here. Because I can. Excellent bunch of people to hang out with. Always a lot of fun.